Yo guys, what is up? Welcome back to some more Zero Hour. Today we're resuming Lucifer Arise's tournament. We are on round 3, which is the semi-finals. Myself versus Google. This tournament, I think, was for $300 prize money, split between positions 1, 2, and 3. I think. Might want to correct me if I'm wrong. With the bulk of the money going to the first place. So you really want to be winning this tournament if you're playing it. Quite a lot of money at stake, and all thanks to Lucifer Arise, which has been. The guy has been sponsoring a load of Zero-Hour tournaments recently, so massive thanks to him. So yeah, we've got myself and Google, best of 9, Tournament Desert, and GLA Vanilla versus USA Vanilla is the first matchup, and then we're going to reverse. I did quickly check a few of Google's replays before we started this tournament, maybe to his knowledge or maybe not to his knowledge, probably that he wasn't aware. And I'll probably make a few adjustments throughout this series that I'll tell you about that I have done in the past as well. Maybe I haven't mentioned every time, but make a few adjustments, like for instance building my war factory and barracks here when normally you will see me box it in here. And the reason I'm doing that is I want to try and get this first V out and try and stop this worker, because he will always do a worker on this right hand side generally. So you want to kind of stop that. It does completely fail, and the V does not get there in time. His worker was super quick. I don't know if he actually sent his first worker or not, but he does get his first worker there. It actually causes a little bit of damage to the V there, and actually saves the RPGs from taking any damage or dying as well. So not a bad start for Google, actually. Despite me adjusting, he has still managed to do that, and actually me losing a V here for no reason at all. Really silly and poor start from me. I was feeling pretty good going into these games. I warmed up very well, playing completely on point. So really want to be winning these convincingly and not letting it go to like a tiebreak situation. But I really wanted to just win it outright. Me and Google have played a few tournaments in the past before. Another V going down here, really silly and bad start from me. This didn't bode well for my confidence going into the first opening minutes. It was not good, despite me thinking I was playing well. Yeah, straight away. Lost a couple of V's for absolutely no reason. He actually got this technical in as well. But this technical actually goes a bit pear-shaped. It's a big risk if you're going to detonate here. It's quite a big risk that you're not going to be able to kill both of the buildings. On my dozer, I had it instantly repairing both of these. Whichever one was the lowest, I was repairing it. And actually that detonation now has set him back. So now he's going to be a few techs down because he's lost this one. He's lost a few RPGs there, I think. Wasn't paying attention there for a second. But very shortly, I'm going to have a group of Vs that's going to be, despite me losing 2 already, I'm going to have a group of Vs that is going to be difficult for him to stop when he hasn't got so many technicals out. And he was losing a few technicals here as well. I want to move out and kill some technicals as soon as you can. Only 2 technicals going down. And I've skipped the ambulance here and made the battle drone, so these Vs can just repair without having to wait for the ambulance. So we kind of want to push out now. These Vs can still repair as they're going, apart from the quick ones, but that one can still repair, so it will be able to catch up. Yeah, that's the thing. They can be shot down. Want to get a TOV missile, or sorry, I always say that wrong, don't I? You want to get TOV upgrade, or why do I always say that wrong? I don't know why I say it wrong. TOV missile upgrade, I think. I think I'm saying that right. I always say it wrong. But yeah, he lost way too many technicals. Nice terror tech there. Actually picked off 1. But he's lost all of his technicals here, and even if he picks off that 1V, which he does, he's left 2 pretty full Vs here, and he's lost pretty much everything. So at this point, all I'm worried about is just killing these, just dealing with that, but mainly getting outside of his war factory. Which I do right now. I've seen 1 technical has escaped, but it's not enough. With this and with the few RPGs here, it's not enough. War factory going down very quick. I don't want to laser lock any technicals as they come at you, so I've only lost, I didn't even lose the missile defender there, but even if I had, that was $300 to 500, and that was a very quick win, 4 minutes and 25. So despite my bad start, losing 2 Vs, his terror tech, actually you could say that terror tech cost him the game there, because yeah, it was a waste of what, 500 for the tech and then another 800 for the terrorists. So that was a big waste, and that would have actually stopped me producing Vs. It would have stopped me getting the upgrades and stuff. So actually that was a game-changing moment. Bad on his part, really, trying to be greedy and go for both of the buildings when usually it's better to just play it safe, just go for one of the buildings. But if he had got both of them buildings, it probably would have been GG right there. So yeah, well played to Google in the first game, especially picking off his first a few Vs. Really well done in doing that. But ultimately, I was able to pick off enough technicals to go and close his base down very, very quick. You want to close out the game as quick as possible when you're USA versus GLA. So yeah, jumping into the second game, as I was saying in the previous, yeah, me and Google have played a few times before, but actually not very often. Usually like once a year or something. I think he beat me in the last tournament we played, which was like a year ago maybe. And then I think a year ago before that, or maybe even 2 or 3 years before that, I beat him in a tournament. I think the score we played last time was like 4-2 to him, I think. I can't even remember what tournament it was. And then the 2 or 3 years before that, I think it was only a best of 3, and I think I won 2-0 in that one. So a very, very tough player to beat. So you want to be on your A game when you're playing Google. Okay, so the reverse of the same matchup we just saw, GLA Vanilla. I chose to go for the tunnel on the left-hand side. Generally, it's a good idea to go on either side, really, but here is good for harassing this one. But here is good if you want to eventually kill their oil or take over their oil. He's going to go for a dozer drop here, which actually is... I can't remember how many workers he kills exactly. But as soon as that happens, you want to kind of run him away. I've only lost 2 workers there. And then force-fired the ground to kill the dozer. So that's actually not too bad, because the dozer costs 1,000, and it also puts him only on 1 dozer now, and he's not boxed anything in either as well. So he's now going to be worried about that dozer. He is going to pick off an RPG here. I think he is anyway. Oh, he's actually not popped out my RPGs just in time. Google is very good at congregating a massive group of Vs, getting flashbangs and the upgrades and stuff, not losing many Vs, and then pushing through the center. So that's generally one of the things you'll see Google do. Or maybe not one of the things, but probably every time you'll see Google do that. But he does build a fire base on this left-hand side. Does let me get the control of this oil, though. But at this point, I've not caused any real damage. I want to try and get a technical in with some RPGs, and I think that one is my tech RPG. But I do see that he's got this fire base, and he's got this V here as well, so it's not going to be able to go in and cause any damage. So he has blocked off that very nice, and the more Vs that he gets out, the harder it is going to be for me to break in and cause some damage. So I think that one was my... that was just a fake, actually. Have I skipped? No, I've still got the Terratech back here. I like to do delayed Terratech. The first one generally is going to have the RPGs inside of it, and as soon as the Vs get out of position, you want to try and target it and cause some damage. So his V micro was pretty on point here. Don't know if he loses any Vs or not, but I don't know if I lose any units here either. So just a bit of a standoff. He has got 1 low V, but both of my technicals there are low, so I am forced to go back. Getting a fast third supply. I've got some nice map control and stuff like that. That's generally what you want to be doing against a good USA player, but you also want to be harassing. At this point, I've not caused any damage, and he's already got a dangerous amount of Vs out. So yeah, I at least want to pick off like 2 Vs like he did in the previous, because 3 Vs are going to be a lot less scary than 5. Technical coming in, I think that's my Tech Terror, so that has managed to get in. Generally, you want to distract him with one thing, and then go in with the other one. Tech RPG there. I think I managed to pick off 1 V, and actually I think that's probably worth it to pick off a full V. Don't know if that was full or not, but generally probably worth it, especially if you're on a third supply already. So I've got a higher income than him at the moment. I don't know if you can see. No, you can't see his supply selected, but at this point I'm thinking I need to cause some more damage. I think he does see this technical, and actually I wasn't going for a dozer hand, and I wasn't really aware that his dozer was there at the moment. But that was just a fake. It was just a distraction for the time being anyway. He has got flashbangs out now, as I just said a minute ago. It does manage to clear up my RPGs. But he's got quite a nice defense going, because that fire base just makes it so hard to break in on that left-hand side, so I kind of have to go anywhere from like that power plant to the right all the way to this side. I have got a good map control though, so really probably should be harassing here a little bit more. But the last thing I want to be doing is losing a load of technicals, which I think I'm about to do now. 1V is getting extremely low. But losing a load of technicals here is probably not worth it there, because he's only lost 1V. And I've lost a load of technicals. I am economically ahead, but that's still not worth it at that point in the game, I don't think. He is flashbanging out the middle of the buildings. As I said in the previous, or just a few minutes ago. But behind this, I want to my strategy was to get a second arms dealer, spam a load of technicals, and try and take out these Vs if he does manage to push through the center. Also, looking back, maybe I should be better at harassing this because it's relatively undefended, and it would keep them Vs pretty busy. One of the Rangers is picked off there, and his V's a little bit out of position there, actually. Picking off one, but he has got inside of that building now, and I think he's going to flashbang that out. So he is slowly breaking through the middle, which is kind of what I expected. But even though I'm at this point 1-0 up, I don't want to let it to go 1-1. I want to try and win as many games as possible. I don't want to just let it go 1-1, 2-2, 3-3, whoever's got like the stronger army. Because USA GLA is actually very, very balanced, I think. So yeah, there's no reason why you can't be winning both. So whereas I won the first game in like 4 minutes, the game's still going on, so I'm doing pretty well. But this amount of these that he's got is very dangerous. I am on 2 arms dealers. Have managed to bring a Terror Tech in and managed to kill the Firebase and kill the power. So kept him a little bit busy, but he's got enough units in the build and in his base to kind of handle this. It doesn't really send this army back, which is kind of the main goal. You want him to send that. You want to set him to send that army back so you get more time to fortify the middle. So got plenty of technicals here now, but he still has a load of Vs. Some are vetted up. He's got an ambulance there as well. He's got the V missile upgrade. Getting ready to get my oil. Dropping down a palace, but the palace is going to be too late. Because the Vs are already going to break through the middle. He's already got inside of there. I don't know if he has got Search and Destroy already. So you see the massive range on that building there. But as soon as he breaks through, then it becomes so hard for GLA. And this is why I wanted to get 2 arms dealers, because at this point you need a crazy amount of technicals and a massive concave if you're going to be able to defeat these Vs. But yeah, he does manage to charge through the center. The palace is on almost 60%, but it's a little bit slow. And it's all really just because it didn't do enough damage early on. These Vs have managed to get in, because imagine if I'd have picked off 2 Vs nice and early on and caused some economic damage, this blob of Vs wouldn't be half as strong. So yeah, he does manage to tuck these Vs back here. It's going to cause some damage to the palace, but what I want to try and do at this point is trying to concave his Vs against the back of the map here. But when his Vs are kind of trapped like this, it makes the missile defenders really hard to pick off. I mean, you've got to make the decision: do you want to try and target the missile defenders and then the Vs, or do you want to pick off the Vs and then the missile defenders? Tried to get inside of the palace here, and actually this is not looking so bad for me as long as I can handle this. But even behind this, he's got another wave of Vs coming. Bad formation here from me and my technicals. You see the Vs just tank the damage, and he just laser locks everything else. So many technicals going down. Palace is about to go down as well. A10 strike coming in. Gonna hit my arms dealer, so looking very bad. He's also got another army of Vs here clearing out this side of the map as well, so it's literally just a matter of time before I've not got enough to fight back. Picking off the occasional V, but it's not even half enough. And he does manage to pull it back to 2-1-1. So well played to Google. I wasn't able to cause enough damage there early on, so I paid the price when the Vs just kind of charged through the center. Just fully upgraded Vs with the flashbangs, just to manage to get all the way through the center and straight to my base, and I didn't have enough to defend against it. So well played to Google. 1-1. So jumping into game 3. This is a matchup that I played in the previous, actually. If you remember when I played Ruiz, which is actually round 1. I know I casted Me vs Exile, which is round 2 first, and then I went back and watched the Ruiz games. But the most recent games I uploaded were the Ruiz games, and that was one of my go-to matchups in versus demo. I feel pretty comfortable on this map and matchup. I think on this map, I think that infantry is stronger as long as you can hold on in the early game. So he is demo, of course. It's the same matchup, inf versus demo. So kind of what I want to be doing nice and early on is I want to be getting some minigunners out. I want to be stopping any tunnels that are coming from Google, any tunnels that he tries to get up anywhere kind of here. Generally, he's probably going to want to build one somewhere around here, because he's probably going to go inside of that building, or maybe he wants to sneak one down the left, or he's going to be wanting to place down a one here to get ready to build a third supply later on. There are crates here. I think they've got $100 in each, so you can get them pretty soon. I don't like to waste build time. I like to build my stuff really quick and then get the crates. I don't like to delay the war factory just to get a $300 few crates. It's not worth it at all. You want to get them when you get your first few units out. You see, even Google's done the same as well. If it was like 1,000, then yeah, sure, go for it and delay your build order. But if it's not, then wait until you get your first few units out and then go for it. So at this point, I want to try and protect my trucks. I also want to, this time I'm placing down a bunker here to protect these. Managed to pick off a worker there with a minigunner. Gone inside of there, so just provide a little bit of map control for me. That worker should go down if there is a minigunner inside of there. Technical is going to come in for him, and that should drop off another worker and finish that. But I have slowed it down though, and now I've got mines and a bunker, so you'll see these trucks are very well protected. There's no way them trucks are coming under fire anytime soon. And also over here, the bunker is going to be defending that nice and easy. So his worker is now over here, and then his technical. I can't remember if he actually does go into the mines here or not. I don't think so. Oh yeah, he does. Which is actually, I remember thinking at that point, how stupid was that? Because he just targeted the mines and walked into the mines anyway. It was a little bit silly, especially at like a high-level game. Google is a real tough player. Don't usually see silly, stupid mistakes like that. But yeah, walked straight into the mines after revealing him was a little bit weird. And probably frustrated him and probably helped me in the coming minutes or whatever. But yeah. Technical going down, that's good for my confidence. Big waste for him. And one thing you want to do on this map as well, if you can just drop down a bunker here, you can very easily try and secure this. You just a bunker there, and GLA really can't do much about it. I've got 2 outposts coming in, and you want to be careful when you engage these tunnels, because if you have one bad engagement, you can lose everything that's inside of here. Getting these bunkers is a really good idea. Do a huge evac there. But I think he's got a few quads out here, and actually this is a bad engagement from me. You see actually how much stuff I've lost there. I think he's lost 2 quads there, but actually I've lost a whole ton of stuff, and that's my own fault for evacing and then just running at the tunnel. He has in the meantime sent a technical in, and he's trying to cause some damage, but I have got my trucks well secured, which is exactly the position you want to be in. I'm already on a 3rd supply, but I've already taken quite heavy damage here as well, and he's going to be able to take this back. So not the greatest of engagements. Actually a very bad engagement, probably the worst engagement that I took in these 3 games so far. Do have a nice map control though. I have got that bunker. I can probably get that bunker. Got a flamer here, so I'm going to kill quite a few RPGs, and that's not good for GLA, because you need the RPGs to pop open the outposts. Behind this, you generally want to be getting a propaganda center very quick. I don't know if that's my that's my last dozer, so I need to be careful with that actually. Dropping down the propaganda center there, well protected by the mines. So if I build it in that kind of position, the only way technical is going to come in is through that way or through that way, and both areas are covered with mines and the bunker. So yeah, I got pushed off that 3rd supply. Pretty hard, bad engagement there from me. But at this point, when you've got quite a few outposts here, so even though he's caused quite a bit of damage already, I've still got enough outposts to basically just charge through the center and just cause some huge damage to his base. I want to try and get to his arms dealer, park us at it, and just kill his arms dealer. Also, stopping the palace is a very good thing to do, which I think he's forced to cancel it at this point because there's just so much stuff here. Even if I just evac all my stuff and engage those RPGs there, it's not going to be able to save this palace, so he has to cancel the palace. And to be cancelled at like 50 to 70%, which I think he was then, is very bad, because you want that Jarman out, you want buses out, stuff like that very quick. Very annoyingly, he is picking off my barracks over here on the left-hand side. But it's very slow, because the technical produces very slow damage. He is already on a 3rd supply here, but because this map is so wide and open, was able to just kind of go in the back of his base and just go around all the tunnels. You see I've just like walked straight through the center, Just gone like around there and now back to his arms dealer. Do pop open one of my own outposts there and actually lost quite a few infantry there to the toxin tractor, so it's not very good. But I have cancelled his palace, remember? I've cancelled his arms dealer, or actually he's lost his arms dealer and killed a supply there as well, so he's in a very bad position. He's lost like, well, a very key building has been reset. It's probably going to lose it again now. I can't remember if I cancel it again. Yeah, building a palace out in the open, probably not a good recommendation. I want to be careful I don't get too many of my outposts popped open at this point. I have got a nice scout because got both of these bunkers with units inside. Kill the barracks doesn't really mean much, but it is annoying for him. He's got to place down another one, which costs him $500. And stops him building any more tunnels for the next few minutes at least. And in the meantime, I can just kind of clear out the center because all of his units are kind of popped out over here. I don't know how many quads he's got. He's got quite a few quads, but he can't really engage his outposts just with quads, otherwise they will go down. But yeah, I knew all his RPGs were out here, so you can then go back and engage the middle. Just get a bit more map control. So now I've got my propaganda center, I've got my Lotus behind this. Lotus also going to the center. As soon as you've got these few buildings and you're oiled, you're at a massive advantage and puts you way ahead. Especially like with that, it's one of my favorite buildings. 10% discount on all your buildings, all your vehicles rather. Yeah, so as soon as the command center is ready, you want to use carpet and artillery together. In this case, I'm going to go for the third supply to reduce him back to 2. So keep the economic damage on him. He hasn't gone for his oil either. That supply is dead and all the work is dead as well. This artillery platform lets you take control of the center, or helps you take control of the center, which means that I can now bring, I've got a command center, I can now bring that dozer over to the middle, build some bunkers and build some supplies and take over the whole center really. In the meantime, he has gone for a bit of a counter attack, so he has done a sneaky tunnel down this right hand side next to my oil. But at this point there's just so many ECMs, so many outposts, he's not able to defend it. His palace has been cancelled a few times. He's getting his palace up now actually, but his base is about to get completely destroyed again. Dropping down a Sting, which actually isn't really going to do much. He's chosen to go for a counter attack. And at this point, I think I had mines, so I think he's able to kill a bit of bad micro there from me. I'm supposed to be able to control 2 armies at the same time, but a little bit bad. I don't think I realized I was pushing. I think I clicked them units there and then let them go down. But I was concentrating over here, really killing this base. But really, I can just put this on guard mode, and this will all just be cleared up. Yeah, I do have a mine drop, so this area is still covered because that well-placed mines, but I think I dropped more mines here as well, which just, again, just stops him from pushing it. By this point, I've already expanded to the middle. This whole area here is now being cleared out. Expanded again to the middle, so I'm probably going to be on, what, 3 supplies very soon? That would have been 4, but that one's mined out. I was building a command center because I thought, actually, this part of my base was going to go down, so I was building a command center again. I always try and build a command center tucked nice and close to the edge because that's where the support powers come from. You can surprise the enemy when your command center is under attack. Bit bad for me there. I actually killed one of my own ECMs. ECMs don't deflect your own missiles, apparently. But yeah, dropping down the barracks only costs $500. Make a few tank hunters, and you can just drop a few bunkers down the middle, and it just becomes so hard for the GLA to do anything about it. So his palace is now established. He has re-established a supply on the right. But he did kill my oil as well. It was a bit silly of me, really, to allow that worker to get in. He's popped some quads there. He thinks maybe a carpet's coming or something, but I've dropped some mines down, which just really stops him. As long as I've got some units inside of that bunker and I've got mines there, it becomes really hard to kind of push over here. I've got 2 command centers just to play extra safe if I'm going to get those 100 or something. But then I've got the whole center as well. And at this point, with a few quads and a few RPGs, not really going to be much match for this huge army. Palace going down so quick. I just want to pick off that palace. Just want to pick off a few tunnels, maybe the barracks and whatever, and just run away. But he knows it's GG. I've got the whole center. I've got so much. I think it's on like 10k, yeah, nearly 10k. So yeah, GG, Google was not able to win that one, but I think that infantry on that matchup and on that map is stronger than GLA demo anyway. So jumping into the reverse then, so we've got me as demo. In the north, this map, by the way, is called Arena of War. So we're on Arena of War, and in the south we've got Nightingale, which is Google, in the infantry. At this point, I'm still thought I was playing pretty good, and I really wanted to win this, and there's no reason why demo can't win this, even though I think infantry is stronger, especially like in the mid game when it does that push down the center. I really wanted to win this nice and quick. So my first worker actually here is going for a sneaky tunnel over here, and I want to harass and kill the supply very quick, and basically just put him on one supply, hit the economy. But behind that, I want to go for a terror tech as well. So whether I terror tech this one or that supply, I want to basically at least kill one supply, cause some big damage. So again, I've only collected 2 crates, not wasting any time to get the other crate. It's only $100, not going to make a huge difference. But the terrorists, when they're just standing around, yeah, sure. If they're just standing around, just go and get it, because it will help you. I've skipped a tunnel here. Don't really need that if you're going to be doing an aggressive tunnel over here, as long as you're covered at some point. But he actually drops down a Gatling cannon here in a second, and my RPGs are very, very quick to spot it and actually manage to cancel that down. He has sent a minigun into the center, which has stopped my worker, but luckily my worker's got away, which is a little bit annoying for him. And this is a really nice pick off from me. I think he does manage to cancel that. Yeah, he does manage to cancel it. And straight away I'm able to cause some damage here, so he's going to have to go over there and worry about defending that very, very quick. Do manage to get a tunnel up on the right hand side. I've dropped down a stinger because I'm anticipating a helix, but because at this point I haven't seen this outpost. There could be mines there, and I've got terrorists loaded inside of here as well, so if I can kill that with RPGs, then fine. And then go for the power plant with the terrorists. Actually, looking back now, it would have been a really good idea to go for that supply there, but at this point I didn't know where there was mines or when there wasn't. One mistake from me here, though, is not really defending this tunnel. I should have defended this tunnel a little bit better, but he has managed. I don't know if he managed to take it out at this point. I think he does, and my RPGs then is stuck. Losing 4 RPGs is not so great. Technical does escape, but yeah, he has killed that tunnel and cleared out all them RPGs. So bit of a trade-off situation. But if I could see the whole map, if I had a map hack at this point, seeing this dozer, that's what you want to pick off, because then he's only stuck on 1 supply and 1 barracks, and 1 war factory. So yeah, picking off that, looking back, would be actually a really nice pick off if I can come in now with a tech RPG, which is no reason why I couldn't, but I was anticipating there was a helix, so hence I've got some quads out as well. I can't remember what this has got inside it. Maybe a worker. 1 RPG. Not a bad pick off though. Sacrificing 1 RPG to pop up in an outpost is definitely worth it. But one thing Google will always do without fail as infantry, he will send 1 full outpost through the center of the map with a flamer, and it's a very deadly combination because your RPGs are going to get killed by the flamer and the outpost is going to kill quads. So yeah, very deadly combination. I don't think I had any tunnels over here, so I have built a late tunnel, but this tunnel here is a little bit late, and it depends on the angle that he attacks at, if you're going to be able to stop it or not. So yeah, despite my amazing start, wasn't able to keep the pressure up, and actually probably my own fault is not defending that tunnel very well. So yeah, this wasn't the greatest of attacks here. I don't know if I've got a terrorist inside of there. Yeah, I do actually have a terrorist, but the terrorist actually got run over there. I didn't realize that, and maybe that engagement could have gone a lot better for me if I was able to detonate that terrorist. But actually, I've managed to clear this up very, very well. I didn't actually realize. It's actually a few weeks or several weeks since I played this game, so sometimes it's not easy to remember what happened all the time. So yeah, I managed to clear that up without taking too much damage, but I don't really have that much map control. Maybe a tunnel could be dropped down there, and as I say that, I do. But at this point, I think I saw them units going straight through the center, so at this point I can choose, do I want to engage that, or do I want to go for a base trade? Because if if he's just charged through the center with those 2 outposts, he's already lost 1 army as well. Then he's probably not going to have much back at home. So, and at this point, I am actually right. He's only got 1 outpost. Okay, it's going to be a relatively full outpost, but at this point, choosing to go for the base trade situation. But his 2 outposts are in the base. It's going to kill my arms dealer. See, Google's only just getting his crates there at the 5 minutes and a half mark. But yeah, his tricks have gone down. The supply is about to go down, but also my base is getting wrecked back here. But even if that goes down, though, I'm still on 2 supplies. Just my arms dealer going down is a big loss because it costs 2,500 power going down for Google. He is already on a propaganda center, and his command center is on the way as well. But yeah, able to cause big damage here. And vetted up a few quads as well. It's a shame there's mines here, because otherwise I wouldn't have lost that quad, but otherwise I probably would have been able to push and engage this and take out that propaganda center. Maybe even the dozer as well, because the dozer is quite out in the open. Sending his Lotus back, actually. I don't know where that Lotus has been, but he's going to go and get that oil first, which quite rightly you should. In the meantime, though, my base has just been wrecked completely. And he's also managed to kill that supply there as well. So at this point, I'm only on 1 supply. I've re-established my arms dealer in the barracks here. But yeah, at this point, I'm already thinking, really, I probably lost because I've lost too much. So yeah, lost way too many quads there, and they were actually my vetted quads as well. But at this point, I already kind of expected that I lost. I just wanted to kind of hang in there and just see if I could maybe win. But I did already expect this was going to probably be going 2-2. Lotus there. Is that capturing my arms dealer? I think it is. You see, this Super Lotus is absolutely insane. Have to sell that. Carpet coming in, similar to how I struck him in the previous game, targeting a supply. It's a good hit, actually, because here was already being captured by the Lotus, here was already dead, and then here was being targeted by the artillery and stuff. So yeah, well played by Google. As I said, I think infantry is stronger on that map and that matchup, so yeah, well played to Google. So jumping into game 5 then, we're on Desolated District, which doesn't even make sense. It should be Desolate District, I think. But we're going to roll with it anyway. And this time we've got air versus stealth. I'm air in the top right in the purple. And as I said in the beginning, Google playing in the cyan color the whole time. He's in the stealth in the bottom left. So what am I thinking here? You could do Comanches, but I think the Air Force is a stronger general here for a start, because it's a nice big map. GLA stealth is going to have a hard time causing damage. If you want to play it safe, just make War Factory Barracks, do Vs, get across the map, similar to in the previous game where there's such a wide area to have to defend. A group of Vs can just like walk over through here, or go through here, or they can go around here. It's just a wide area to defend for the GLA. Dropped a dozer off, and I actually scouted really quick and placed the drone down and saw this first worker, and basically just want to try and kill that worker. That's what I was trying to go for here. Sometimes I'll try and go for the crush over here, but I noticed it'd gone for terrorists, and instead I scrapped that and actually went for this crush instead. So actually stopping an aggressive tunnel is very good. I can't remember where I'm sending that V, but he has got another aggressive tunnel up over here. He's actually skipped the veterancy there. He's actually been slow to get that. So that first technical, I didn't actually realize that has not got the veterancy. But Air Force is just so strong because of the point defense lasers. It's cheap Chinooks as well. V's are so strong versus pretty much everything in the entire game. They can detect stealth, they can kill tanks, they can kill quads, they can kill infantry. Whoever was thinking of V's in EA games when they were first built obviously had trouble with balance. I think I lose my firebase here. Yeah, I do. I'm my dozer, but Actually, losing the dozer and losing the firebase is not really massive damage. I've still got both of my supplies. I've still got my war factory, still got my barracks. Yeah, it's a little bit of economic damage, a little bit of lost money. I think I didn't cancel my firebase anyway. Maybe I did, I don't know. But, yeah, he still hasn't killed... I'd rather him kill that rather than killing Chinooks and rather than killing a supply. So yeah, nice pick off from him here. And he is able to pick off one of the Vs. But then he's still been shut down and still lost some of the RPGs. I think at this point I was just checking he wasn't going for a fast oil capture, but I have got two relatively full Vs here. Losing one there, really silly. But as long as I pick off some quads, these are expensive units, $700 a piece, the quad. So you pick off a few of them, you can soon add up. Like 3 of them will cost you $2,100. So, but yeah, lost one V there. But remember, I've only got one dozer at this point, so I can't really move this dozer out at the moment. But at this point, he's only got he's got his normal base, but he's only got one aggressive tunnel. He has chosen to go for quads. To try and kill the Chinooks, because tech RPGs generally is not going to be causing any damage to these because of the point defense lasers. Just getting another sneaky tunnel up there on the left, which is really nice. I've got the tow missile upgrade now as well. I mean, I did see that he'd gone for quite a lot of quads, and I thought, since they're so slow moving, you might as well go and engage them. And at this point, he just has to go run away and hide because the quads are going to be no good against the V. So I managed to close out one tunnel there. He has expanded to a third supply and dropping down another 2 tunnels. But at this point, he has done a Terratech. I think that fails, and my dozer's nice and tucked behind there. Dropped down a firebase, and that's actually because the dozer's nice and boxed in. You can actually build a firebase there, and the dozer's actually protected. But yeah, at this point, I've got V's in his base. He's expanded to a third supply very quick before he's actually got a decent army out that's able to defend this. Maybe you could say that's a bit of a mistake. But at this point, I know he's going for a counter-attack, which is kind of one of the only things he has to do. But I know if I just defend this with some nice laser locks, just leave this army for a second and defend this, there's no way that he'll be able to win. Because he's not won me back at home, and I know he can't engage this. So I just had to concentrate here for a second. You want to leave this army until you're fully defended back at home. I do lose pretty much everything though, saying that. But with some nice laser locks, technicals are pretty useless. I think he actually does get the dozer here, which is a bit weird since it gets it from there to there. Very big splash damage. But he's already lost his whole base. The arms is going to be going down very, very quick. Selling that so I don't get the XP. Don't get the vetted up units, but it enables me just to move out very, very quick. But he is dropping down a load of tunnels and stingers and stuff here. He's hunted my dozer now, so he could play the very long game. It's just that he's only got one supply. He is building another supply over here. I think he tries to stealth that, but I think that I just see it in time. But yeah, at this point, as long as they just stop any Terratechs from hitting like the power or the barracks, should be a nice, comfortable win, because eventually I'll be able to overrun this. Yeah, he's got a few RPGs out, but eventually I'll have too much because I'm just able to collect from the whole map if he's just going to defend one point. So yeah, very smartly sold off a supply before I kill it. And this tunnel is probably going down as well. And he's dropping down another supply there. He's trying to get a sneaky supply in so that he's able to not just stay on one supply and he's able to build a little bit more, but this is just not enough. It's versus an air force with 2 supplies, power, war factory, barracks. Even if he's dozer hunted me, it's not a situation you want to be in against the USA. Any USA really, never mind an air force. So a huge advantage for me at the moment. And actually he manages to kill those 2 Vs there, but I do kill the tunnel, but it's because I was trying to worry about this. I thought the Terratech was going to come in and hit the power, because that will be a game-changer moment. So actually looking back, even though I felt pretty bad about losing them 2 Vs there, definitely worth it, because the alternative to me was that one of them technicals could have had some terrorists inside of it, and could have picked off that power. And then if you pick off the power, the game becomes more pressured for me. Then I've got to try and win the game as quick as possible. He has expanded now to 2 supplies, but he knows that I've just got way too much. All I have to do kind of just attack move or guard mode on his base, and he's going to go down. So yeah, GG. I do think Air Force is stronger in that matchup. So jumping into the next game then, so game 6. So this time I am Stealth on the bottom left, and Google is Air Force on the top right. He's actually not cyan anymore, he's pink, just to confuse you on the map. Now, at the beginning of this game, he said, not to me, but he said that he was just going to mess around and do a mess around build order. But I knew exactly what build order he's going to do, because he does the same build order very regularly in air versus GLA, or even air versus stealth. He will do 3 dozers like he has done here, and then he will drop down 2 airfields and he will make Comanches. And this one here will be used to run over workers, which in this case is trying to run over this worker. And then behind that he will make 2 airfields. I know this because I've watched some of his previous games and I've seen him do it quite regularly. It's one of his like go-to build orders. So when he says that it's a messing around or just messing around build order, that's funny to me, because he does it every single time. So he obviously thinks it's strong, if you ask me. So yeah, I kind of anticipated that he would be going Comanches, which is why you'll see me go very quad heavy here. And he's not able to kill that worker straight away, but he does kill it in a second. Actually, he's paying attention very, very well there. Killed that worker. But my tunnels are pretty far back, and this one here, if I do notice that he's going to go for Comanches, I'm going to try and push and try and get here and harass before he gets the critical mass of Comanches out, which is then unwinnable against. Comanches is very, very strong build order to play against, which is another reason why air is so strong. So this worker here at the moment is just kind of scouting. Even if that worker goes down, it's only $200, but there is a dozer over here as well. I don't know if that's the same one or not. I think it's no, it's not the same one. But at this point, I know he's got Comanches. I know he's got 2 Comanches out. That dozer's taking a little bit of damage. But what he's probably doing now is upgrading his Comanches. You want to get the countermeasure upgrade, and you want to get what's the other upgrade called? The stealth upgrade. But then at the same time, I stealth this one so he can't pick off the workers, and I've also got quads back at home in case he wants to engage. So yeah, at this point I want to try and cause damage nice and early on before he is able to get the critical mass of Comanches. His micro here was absolutely terrible. Actually, he's lost a Comanche and a Chinook, and all his RPGs now are coming in. And as soon as these RPGs like kind of get here, and he's already a Chinook down as well, then it's going to be hard for him to deal with. So he's already got 1 low Comanche there. You can see it actually smoking. But at this point, I just want to try and get as many units in his base as possible to try and hit the economy and trying to hit these Comanches before he's able to get the critical mass. But as soon as these amount of RPGs get here, he's just lost so many Comanches straight away. So with the quads, I'm actually targeting the Comanches first. You want to target the Comanches, not the Chinooks, because the Comanches are things that are going to win the game. So yeah, killed all the Comanches. I knew he was going to go for this build order. It was literally a build order win. I knew exactly what he was going to do. And just able to close out the game nice and quick. So yeah, GG. So yeah, Google says he was messing around, but actually it's one of his go-to build orders. So he obviously thinks it's a pretty strong build order. And generally Comanches is a super overpowered and strong build order. So yeah, GG. So next matchup is Stealth versus Tox. I think he chose this one. Yeah, he did, because he lost the previous 2. So he chose this one, and he chose to take Tox first as well, which Tox generally is a lot stronger than Stealth, if you ask me. So Tox should be winning this one, but I only need to win 1 more to get to 5 and win the best of 9. So I want to try and win this as much as possible. I can't really remember what my strategy was here. I think I just wanted to try and hold on and trying to get to Palace and trying to get to buggies. But at the same time, I like to go for the oils on this map, because if a Tox player and a Stealth player both do a tunnel here, then the stealth tunnel is going to win the engagement, because the stealth tunnel can cause normal damage, whereas the toxin tunnel can only cause the toxin damage, which doesn't damage buildings very much. It's like 0.001% damage, it feels like, per minute. So yeah, Google actually very smartly got a nice aggressive tunnel there, and me, what am I doing? Actually, yeah, I'm going for a terror attack, which actually I think doesn't quite go my way. But yeah, I'm going for a terror attack. The reason I'm going for a terror attack is because it is such an imbalanced matchup. You want to try and be causing the damage against Tox nice and early. Get the advantage and then kind of play for the longer game. So yeah, that's kind of my strategy going into this one. But at the same time, he's also going for a terror attack, and his is actually very, very quick across the map, a lot quicker than mine. And his technical is going to get in, drop down a barracks here to stop him getting in the supply line. So do manage to successfully stop that actually, but he has caused quite a bit of damage because he still killed my 2 technicals. Now at this point I want to try and get my technical out and trying to scrap up these here. He has got 2 more technicals coming in. I think he's going to try and kill my barracks. But here I want to get this technical over here. I want to try and get the super tech. Dropping down another tunnel there. I don't know if I'm using that worker there actually. I think I am. But yeah, he's able to kill my barracks, so I want to be dropping down another one ASAP. But at the same time, behind this, he's going to be going Scorps, and because he's got this tunnel here, he's going to be causing... he's going to be sending the Scorps in, and I'm going to have to dig in and hold on as much as possible. At this point, I'm going for my own terror tech, which now I'm defended. Well, now I have defended. I can now send in my own terror tech. But you see what happens here. That would have actually been very nice if that toxin tunnel didn't fire. But because it did fire, maybe what would have been better doing is going way over here and then targeting it. I think it probably could have worked then. But yeah, and I would have killed the whole supply as well and set him back 1500. Maybe you could have rebuilt it, and maybe it wouldn't have changed the game so much, but that toxin tunnel did fire. Nice placement of his tunnels. I've got some of my own technicals coming in now, and I've got a super tech here, which actually does help clear this up. Don't think you realised that one was quite a super tech. So yeah, I'm able to clear that out for the time being, but he has got a terror tech in my own base, my arms dealer. But you'll see what I've said in previous games before. The toxin terrorists, when they detonate all together, they do cause splash damage themselves. So that's exactly what happened there, and the war factory actually didn't fully go down. But he does have a nice amount of Scorps out now. But I have got a super tech, I've got a few quads, and I've got a few RPGs, and I'm dropping down a load of stealth tunnels. So I kind of want to dig in and hold on as long as possible and play the long game. I have got control of one of the oils at least, but not the top one. And able to pick off one of the Scorps. So I just want to kind of pick off what I can without losing. It's basically playing a preservation game and trying to hold on as long as possible. So yeah, immediately dropping down more and more tunnels. Arms dealer is nearly finished. Rebuilding. Got a few idle workers there actually, which I didn't realise is a mistake. So yeah, dropping down more and more tunnels. We kind of want to hold on because I know what's coming next. The next thing coming is going to be a massive Scorpion spam. And it is coming. Google is beaconing himself. Weirdly. Managed to pick off a worker there. But I think he realised at this point how many tunnels I had out. But what I should be doing here is probably skipping that tunnel and skipping that one maybe. And making a palace faster. That's probably what I want to be doing. Probably, yeah, skipping at least one of these tunnels and getting a palace down very, very quick, and then getting a bus out. That's probably what I want to be doing. But here, these Scorps are able to just come in, and they're so overpowered because they have got toxin shells as standard. They're able to just kill infantry and buildings and tanks. They're able to kill everything. So yeah, he kind of just has to attack, move in, and they're very, very, very good against pretty much everything. And at the same time, I want to try and get my oils as well. I have got control of both of the oils. Maybe rather than going for my terror tech, if I'd have gone for a fast oil capture there and there, I would have had a palace up already by now. But my palace is still nowhere in sight, so it's a bad move. So yeah, more and more tunnels going down. And I kind of just like want to pop out here, kind of cause a bit of damage and then go back in. That's kind of what I was trying to do here. And actually, for the most part, it is very successful. Picking off a few Scorpions. There's a few Scorps there that are very low. Remember, when he's attacking, he can't see all these tunnels that are building. So I've got 3-4 tunnels, at least under construction or already built. But his Scorpion army is thinning out, and you'll see actually quite a few of them are very, very low. But in the meantime, I don't have the oils. I do have the Rebel and the Capture upgrade. But actually, I'm able to hold on here for quite a while and kill quite a few of his Scorpions. We're losing one of my technicals there, which is really I don't really want to be doing. But the Scorpion spam for him is just on 2 war factories now, just continuing to spam out and just continue to attack. But yeah, I don't want to lose that super technical. That super technical is going to be key to winning the game if I am going to go on to win. But yeah, this attack from Tox is just relentless. I've been in this situation many times before, and you just want to kind of hold on. Almost losing my super technical there, and Demo Trap was able to pick off that. Super technical does go down. Big mistake there. Didn't really want to lose that. But the Demo Trap did kill quite a few, and the RPGs have killed quite a few. But this army now is very, very strong. Hijacker is a good thing to use against Tox. Got a heroic Scorpion now. And kind of want to run away with that and use that as my kind of super technical. My special unit is going to be able to pick away at the enemy stuff now. Not enough workers here collecting from me, and the reason is I kept pulling them out to try and place down a load of tunnels. Have got an oil now, but not this one as well. So it's really slow from me. And looking back, I should have had them oils from the very beginning. That would have been massively helpful. I would have already been on Palace. Would have had already loads of tunnels placed down. Loads more tunnels placed down with 2 oils, which is $1,000 bonus per oil. Another annoying hijacker for him there. Has picked off another key Scorpion and able to push this army back once again. But yeah, I need to get the Palace down very, very, very quick, and I've still not got it in sight. He's actually going down a command center, so he's going to be on the Rebel Ambush, which is going to be useful for killing buggies or killing anything I've got inside of these tunnels as soon as it pops out. Yeah, at this point he decides he wants to try and kill the oil instead, so he's going to go over here and try and kill the oil. I really think if I'd had this since the beginning, I could have had more tunnels here and been able to defend this. Because I've only just got it though, it's not great. Yeah, Rebel Ambush placed down there and is able to kill pretty much all of my infantry I had inside of the tunnel, so not good at all. And he's got a load of Scorpions here now, so he's going to be able to clear that out. Have now got that oil as well, able to collect long distance from this supply here. And Palace now going down, but like almost 10 minutes mark is way too slow, I feel. So yeah, noticed he was going for a worker in a tunnel over there, which could have caused big problems. You want to kind of stop that as soon as you see it. But he's also going for a terror attack and killed the oil, so he's killed both of my oils now. So didn't even really, probably didn't barely paid for themselves. They've got demo traps here. Some people like to put them on manual, but the micro required and whatever, I just like to leave them on automatic. Just because an army might walk past it and you might not be paying attention, and then the army might not walk past it again. So if it has some automation, then you can guarantee that it's going to kill at least something, which is, in my opinion, better than missing the opportunity altogether. Yeah, at this point I've got so many tunnels, it is hard for him to push in, but I don't have that much. I've literally only got this heroic Scorpion. Palace has now been established, and at this point I probably want to be getting buses, but my arms dealer is very, very wide open. So I'm at 1700, Google's on 1700 as well. But remember, his Rebel Ambush will soon be ready again. He's got a load of Scorpions out, he's also collecting from 2 supplies, he's also getting my oil as well. Which at this point I try and send a bike over there and trying to kill this Rebel and take it for myself, but Yeah, apparently the rebel bike loses the battle to the rebel with toxin. So yeah, at this point he's still kind of attacking in, but I've got so many tunnels, and I've got this one heroic scorpion mixed in with hijackers, which slows him down and down. When you're ever using a hijacker, you kind of want to go for the vetted ones, like that's a vet 2 one. It's going to be harder for him to kill and going to cause more damage to his own. But yeah, at this point I just want to delay him as long as possible. Try and get a command center, try and get bounty, arms dealer, and a bus out. Probably could cancel that command center at this point. Just place it down, get the bounty upgrade, and then get an arms dealer, because an arms dealer is what I need right now. So yeah, I've got several workers collecting long distance here. That's not actually enough. I need more than that to keep the income in. But I think most of my attention is paid over here. I'm trying to defend this. You see, actually, because I've captured his Scorpion, I don't get the Toxin Shells, which actually is another imbalance in this matchup, I think. I think if you capture it, you should get the upgrades as well. Especially if it comes as standard with that general, I think you should. So yeah, these Scorpion armies just keep coming at me and coming at me. But once again, he does get pushed back. He's actually got a Scorpion there that's empty. I've sniped it with the Jarman. Would have been handy if I got that one, actually. Can use it with this one to try and defend. But he is mined out there now, and he's now placing down a palace, just in case the game does go long. And he's only collecting from a few piles there, so he's only got about 5,000. Yeah, it takes him an absolutely age to clear this section out, but really all I'm doing is delaying the inevitable, unless I continue this pretty decent micro up trying to pick off these units. Just like picking off what you can and then going back inside of the tunnel. But I mean, at this point he's just got so many Scorpions, he just invested everything. He hasn't built a palace. He's not building black markets, anything like that. Well, he is building a palace now, but up until that point, he's just invested everything into Scorpions. He's also got this oil here as well, so he's got an extra $1,000 a minute. Almost killing one of his own Scorpions there. But yeah, that heroic Scorpion that I've got is actually pretty good, because in one hit with his 2 rockets, it actually kills 1 Scorpion. So it's actually not bad for picking off these Scorpions, but this whole time, all these tunnel kills is giving Google more and more XP, which means he's going to be on the Anthrax bomb, he's going to be on a higher bounty level, he's going to be on more money because of the higher bounty level, but also the Tox Rebel ambush and the sneak attack and stuff like that. Yeah, so killing these tunnels, which actually are not causing that much damage to the Scorps. Even though I get 2 free RPGs from it. Yeah, really is in favour of him because he's getting more and more XP. Another Demo Trap there. Don't know if that... Yeah, it picks off 3. So you see what I mean about Demo Traps being one of the best buildings in the game. Another Demo Trap there has picked off another 3 Scorpions. So his army is thinner now. And also he's only on about 1,000. He's only got, like, what? 750 remaining to collect. And plus the oil is bringing some income as well. But as soon as that Tox Bomb hits, all of my workers are dead. And I just quickly GG, because I know I haven't got enough to try and defend against this. I can try and delay the inevitable, but I didn't really have a chance of winning that once I'd lost the supply. So looking back, actually, my downfall there was I could have had both of them oils from the very beginning, and that would have probably put me ahead in terms of economy, and we're able to hold on and build a palace faster. So that's probably my downfall on that one. So jumping into the next game then, it is the reverse now, and I should be winning this one. Toxin versus Stealth on Forgotten Forest. Again, he did choose this map and the matchup. And now again, studied Google before. I know what he's going to try and do. He wants to try and get the advantage, like I did in the previous game. He wants to try and get the advantage versus Tox nice and early. He will do a terror attack, and he wants to try and hit my war factory. So I'm fully aware of that, and I want to try and stop it. As you may have heard me say in the previous video, fully aware that a terror attack is going to be coming. It's without a doubt in my mind that that terror attack is coming. And what I want to try and do is try and defend against it. So I'm going to send workers around. So I've got one has gone this way. So I know at this point there's probably no worker at this point. Actually, he does slip one past, so there is going to be a worker there. But I dropped down a tunnel here, and the reason is I think that because the war factory is here, I've done a tunnel there to try and defend the front of it. And if he does come in around the back, I've dropped down a tunnel there as well. But his workers are going to be in awkward places, so he's going to drop probably a tunnel down here, but also a tunnel down here right in the center, which actually is what he did in the previous game, isn't it? He dropped down a tunnel there when he was Tox, and he's dropped down a tunnel there when he was Stealth. So if you're ever playing Google in the future, maybe that's an adjustment you can make, is making a tunnel in the center rather than at the sides and stuff. So yeah, do something terrorist then. Do I kill that? I don't know if I managed to kill it or not. I think what I did there was, I think I force fired the ground and killed my technical, but I didn't actually kill that worker. That's actually pretty bad. So I was fully aware this was coming, and it still managed to get through. So this is very frustrating. This is the terror attack, and it's actually killed the war factory straight away with the full tentacles. That's massively frustrating, considering I knew that was coming. Maybe you could say I was distracted here, but I really should have been paying attention back here. And if I just kind of stopped that, it puts you at a massive advantage. But straight away now, I'm a war factory down. And straight away he's killing my unsafe as well. My workers are getting killed. My workers, at this point, I don't think I could even go inside of the tunnel. I think they decided to walk around that side. So yeah, this is not the best by me. And remember that I only need to win one more at this point, whereas Google needs to win 2. So very frustrating, so close to victory. I only need to win 1, and straight away it's looking very, very hard. But yeah, the war factory went down. My unsafe going down. And because I'm a war factory down, he's got so many more technicals than me. And yeah, maybe I need to work on my GLA mirror, I don't know. But I even knew that technical was coming. It's so frustrating that I let it in. But it was also a bit weird what happened with that terror attack. Weird that the workers survived. But that technical probably with the terrorist would have probably still got in. So yeah, well played to Google. And maybe I need to, like I say, work on my GLA mirror. So jumping into the 9th game and the final game. So it's 4-4, next game wins. I chose the matchup this time, so I chose Nuke versus Tank, which is one of the other matchups, and we are on, what's this map called? Homeland Rocks. So at this point, I could have chosen to do a mirror, in which case it probably, I think it would have been Air Mirror. I'm pretty confident in Air Mirror. I won the Air Tournament and the Air Force Mirror Tournament. I think only dropping 1 game in the whole tournament, so I'm pretty confident in that. But when Google was down 4-2, he chose Stealth versus Tox and picked the stronger army in the first matchup there. So when there's money involved, I'm going to choose the matchup that I prefer as well. So in this case, it's Nuke versus Tank. It's a nice wide open map, so I think that Nuke's mobility in this matchup has a huge advantage, whereas Tank is very slow and sluggish. But although it's got more powerful units in a 1v1 situation, like the Battlemasters versus the Nuke Battlemasters, he's got more of the raw firepower, whereas the Nuke has got like the more mobility. So generally, it's going to be the Nuke being the aggressive player, versus the Tank being the defensive one, and then the Tank will probably kind of push out mid to kind of late game. So both myself and Google here doing the same build order, 2 supplies and 2 war factories. I actually quite like, looking back at it, what he's done with this supply here. So he's managed to box in that. Because one of the weaknesses of Tank is because the Nuke is so fast, the units are so fast, the Battlemasters, generally you can get in the supply line and cause big damage, but the way he's boxed it in there is pretty nice, so well done to Google for that. I'm pretty impressed. Silly for me, they're losing the Battlemaster. Do manage to cause quite a bit of damage to that outpost, but that's actually not enough. We've got another Battlemaster coming forward for me as well. But his defense here is pretty good. You can see he's got the 2 trucks there well covered, and he's also placing down a propaganda center there as well. So I want to try and be causing damage, but also not losing too many battle masters or units. And then in time for me behind this to go for a propaganda center as well. So you see his propaganda center here was actually quicker. But for the time being, I want to get out some more units. Pick off a flamer of his there. Got a battle master here being chased away by his. You see what I mean about the 1v1 situation? His are faster. Because of the terrain there, I think that battle master is going to escape. Getting a Gatling cannon in the back of his base. One of my Gatlings is out of position there. But you see, kind of at this level games, you've got to have stuff going on at all kind of sides. So I'm flaming that. I'm also harassing over here. I think, is my Gatling going to get in there? No, it's not. Or maybe it is. Yeah, you just managed to save that truck. In the meantime, I'm placing down a propaganda center, but it's a lot slower than his. His is actually very quick, and he's actually managed to clear out all of my aggression with taking very minimal damage. I mean, that truck's killed, which looking back now is because it's half damage, it's collecting at half the rate. But at this point, when I've got the mobility, I can quickly collate my units and pick off the occasional one of his. I should be sending damaged ones like that back to the war factory to be healed. But at this point, because he's got a slow, sluggish army, he's got to have his units nice and spaced out everywhere. So at this point, I can just kind of engage where I want when I've got the numbers advantage, even though his units are stronger. If you got the numbers advantage. So yeah, I needed to cause at least a little bit of damage there, because at that point I hadn't really caused any damage to him at all. Picked off a flamer over there, picked off 2 battle masters just there. ECM is going down now. But this is all kind of buying time for me in the meantime to go for a 3rd supply. But then it also to go for the propaganda center and get Overlord's ECMs out, because Overlords or ECMs are what you're going to need to face these in a head-on engagement, along with nuke cannons and stuff. So he's got a Lotus out very, very quick and wants to be going for the oil. His Lotus actually does survive there. Would have been nice if that actually went down. But yeah, 3rd supply is a very wise move. Gets the economy rolling in straight away. And then I've chosen not to go for a Lotus straight away, but instead to go for ECMs and Overlords, because as soon as this army for Google pushes out, it's going to be hard to engage. Actually, yeah, I did. Sorry, I did. Rather than making the Lotus back here, I've actually gone for a more aggressive Lotus straight away, going to capture his base. So I've gone for his war factory straight away, rather than going for my oil. And normally I wouldn't do that, but straight away it puts the pressure on him, because managed to capture one of his key buildings, or actually more of his key buildings. So yeah, I want to drop down some bunkers. I basically just want to start buying myself time, because he's got no long-range units. He's probably not going to be going MiGs. He can't make any Infernos. He can't make nuke cannons because he is tank. That flamer that was clearing out here before has managed to sneak all the way around here as well. Another one of his units going down there. But at this point, the only threat to me, I'm feeling pretty confident. I've got a Lotus in his base, I've got a Flamer in his base. And the only threat to me now is just this army here. But at this point, I've got quite a decent army. Capturing his supply. So his War Factory and supply have both been captured, which basically halves his production. And then I've got a Flamer in his base as well to kill his War Factory and his supply. So actually there, yeah, 2 sneaky units. That has caused massive damage, and as soon as I make some tank hunters in here, it just makes basically this army here for Google pretty useless. All I've got to do here is just pick off the Gatling cannons, and then the tank hunters do the defense. Tank hunter's out of position there a little bit. I think, yeah, my Lotus has gone down, but I've already halved his production. I've killed his war factory, killed both war factories actually. Bad engagement here really for him. He's able to pick off a few ECMs, but a load of his battle masters have now gone down. And because I've got so many ECMs mixed in, I'm able to just defend, just disable his units very quick. Lotus is capturing my supply now. But at this point, his production was completely cut. So you might probably see, actually, it's only on $650. But at this point, as soon as I've got this massive army, this is when nuke is more overpowered versus tank. Able to just come in and just, he's at this point forced to take an engagement. But you see, the Overlords and ECMs are so much more powerful versus trying to tank. Even that one there getting very low actually does go down in the end. But then I managed to pull through. But you'll see, the ECMs and the Overlords and the nuke cannon, especially with tank gunners mixed in, is just so powerful versus tank. There's not much there you can do. So I'll just update the score for you guys. The score is now 5-4, so I do go through to the next round. The next round is the Grand Finals versus Peter. You may or may not have seen the games already, but they will be coming very soon. So GG, cheers for tuning in, and I'll see you soon.